Let's start off by lying down on the mat. And since we're a mixture of being indoors and outdoors here, I think the intent for today is to absorb the energy of wherever you are. Whether you are here lying on this beautiful, damp, insect-ridden grass, or you're in the comfort and warmth and quietness of your homes. But the sun's shining, well, at least it is here. And so we'll get on and do some yoga. Start off by lying down on the back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And we'll take a few breaths just to connect with where we are. Connecting with that sense of the physical. Temperatures that you can feel, air currents, vibrations, sounds. But also connecting with things beyond the physical. Those emotional things. Maybe even memories. Taking time to ground yourself in both a literal sense and a figurative sense. And start now to deepen your breathing. If you're familiar with Ujjayi breathing, switch on Ujjayi breathing. Those deep whispering inhales, long whispering exhales. Feeling for a sense of the breath washing through the body. A breath coming in and a breath going out. Feeling for lengthening the inhale and lengthening the exhale. Letting go of whatever aspect of today you want to let go of. And keeping hold of whatever you want to keep hold of. And we'll start to introduce some movement into the body. So begin by rocking the knees from side to side. Slowly at first, going with the breath. Maybe they're only moving a couple of inches. Taking the knees from one side to the other. Maybe the knees are moving with the breath. Or maybe they're moving completely independent of the breath. Feel for connecting your spine to the ground beneath you. And equally feel for connecting to the sky or the ceiling above you. Taking more breaths, filling the body with breath. Starting to warm up the lungs, the hips, the legs. And the next time you roll over onto the right-hand side, stay there. Grounding with the earth. And then gently and very carefully, use your hands and your arms to lift yourself up to a seated position. Keep with that deep breath as you're going along here. Keeping that breath between the poses as well as during the poses. So gently make your way up to a seated position. I can see arms peeking out the grass. It's funny. I can see less of real people than I can people on the screen. That's amazing. Take your hands and put them onto your knees, and you can sit here cross-legged. It's probably the nicest way to sit outside. And rock backwards and forwards on the hips. Sending the chest forwards and back. Keeping that deep breath going. And making an even better connection to the ground underneath you. Seated side bend with 3 arm positions. Can everybody hear me? Hello there, I can see you over there now. Take your left hand and put it about a foot away from the hip. Anybody who can't see me in the back here, you can watch Claire because she knows what she's doing as well. Left hand down. Inhale and lift the collarbones up. Exhale, sweep the other arm around and come into a side bend. Take a huge breath in into the right-hand side of your ribs. Feel the ribs ballooning. On the exhale, take your left shoulder blade down the back, making space for your head and your neck. Inhale all the way into your hips. Exhale out any tension or resistance that you feel. Take the hand that's up in the air now and reach for the sky as high as you can, and then take it about another foot away from the hip. Come into a chest opener. Some people might feel like bending the elbows nice here, but find a position where you're feeling like you're getting into the muscles in the top right-hand side of the chest area there. Take a huge breath in through the right-hand side of your neck, all the muscles and the tendons there. And on the exhale, relax the jaw and the face and the tongue. Take a huge breath in with no other intention other than to take a big breath in. And then take a long, relaxing breath out. Take the hand that's up in the air and bring it down so it's hovering about a foot off the ground without moving the neck or the head. Come into a neck release. Inhale and lift the collarbones up towards the sky or the ceiling. And exhale, bring the shoulders and shoulder blades down the back, making room. Pick the hand up off the floor and put it underneath your head and gently use that to lift your head up. Change the cross of your legs over. Keep your deep breathing going as you're moving from pose to pose. And we'll do those 3 on the other side. Take the right hand and put it about a foot away from your hip. Inhale, lift the collarbones up. Exhale, sweep your left arm over, coming into a side bend. Take a huge breath into the left-hand side of your rib cage. Take a long breath out and let the right-hand side shoulder blade come down. Let the head and neck find a great position to relax in. Inhale all the way down into your hips. Ground into the earth beneath you. And exhale out any tension or resistance that's not needed right now. Second position, chest opener. Find a position where you're feeling the absolute best chest opener stretch in the top left-hand side of the chest. Inhale and wash the breath through that area. And use the exhale to carry out any tension. Bring the hand that's up in the air and bring it down so it's hovering about a foot up off the ground. Inhale, lift the collarbones up. And exhale, relax the right ear towards the right shoulder. Use the hand that's on the floor, put it underneath your head, and then lift your head up gently. How's everybody doing? Cool. And everybody's doing that. Okay, cool. Let's do a cat-cow now. Getting onto all fours. Feel for grounding through the hands and through the knees. Hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips. On an inhale, let the belly hang down. Head lifts up. Exhale, pull the belly in. Arch the back up. Let the head hang down. Soften the belly and take an inhale in. Belly hangs down. Head looks forward. Taking care of the neck though. Don't. Inhale. Exhale, pulling the belly in. Arching the back. Feeling movement in the spine. Do a few more rounds of that. Your own breath pattern, your own pace. Feeling for getting movement in a spot in your spine that would feel good. To get some extra movement in. Come into a flat back. And again, connect with the ground underneath you. Through your knees, through the hands. Feel for spreading the fingers wide and connecting to the ground underneath you. Downward facing dog. Inhale and press into the ground underneath you with all 10 fingers. Exhale, let the head and neck relax. Inhale, broaden across the back. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up towards the ceiling or the sky. Inhale and take the chest towards the thighs. Exhale, relax the neck and the shoulders. If it feels good to have a little bend in the knees here, bend the knees. And when you're ready, come down gently. And we'll do some sun salutations. People at home, you have flat mats and flat carpets underneath you. People here, you have all sorts of things underneath your feet, from grass to, yeah, anyway. But I'm sure we'll all have fun here. Stand at the front of your mat, the short end of your mat, and feel for connecting to the earth beneath you. Take a long breath in and send that breath all the way through the body down into the feet. And take a long exhale out. Letting go of anything you don't need. Bring the hands in front of the chest. Exhale everything out. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, come into a forward bend. Pulling the belly in slightly. Bending the knees if that feels good. Lunge, inhale, left leg goes back. Hands can stay on the floor, on the thigh, or come up into the air. Plank, hands down, right leg goes back. Bring the knees down and lower down slowly. Inhale into a low cobra, pulling the chest forward. And exhale into a downward facing dog. Lunge, inhale, left leg forward. Right knee down, hands on the floor, thigh or up into the air. Exhale into a forward bend. Right foot by left foot. Inhale, come up all the way. Exhale, hands in front of heart. How's everybody finding that? How's everybody finding on the grass? It's going, yeah, I was breathing in seeds when I was. I'll be coughing up trees later on. Let's do another one. Hands by the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Lunge, right leg back. Knee down. Arms up. Plank, exhale. Knees come down, lower down slowly. Sending the shoulder blades back and down. Inhale into a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lunge, inhale, right leg forward. Send the hips forwards, getting a stretch in the exhale into a forward bend. Left leg comes to meet right leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in front of chest. Since it's sunny, let's do a few more rounds. We'll do a left leg round, then a right leg round. Everybody want cues? I'll give cues. Hands in front of the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Lunge, inhale, left leg back. Arms up towards the sky or the ceiling. Exhale to a plank. Bring the knees down, lower down slowly. Inhale into a cobra, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Exhale into a downward facing dog. Lunge, inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, forward bend. Right foot comes to meet left foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in front of heart. One more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Lunge, inhale, right leg back. Exhale, plank. Knees down, lower down slowly. Take the shoulder blades back and down the back. Inhale into a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lunge, inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands in front of heart. How's everybody doing? Nobody's fallen over. That's good. It's nice. Warrior one. Stand at the front of the short end of your mat. And again, connect to the feet and the ground underneath you and the sky or the ceiling above you. Feel for lengthening the spine, feeling long, feeling tall. Step the left foot back. A worm's just crawled onto somebody's mat. Left leg back. Turn the hips so they're facing the short end of the mat. And bend the right knee. And let the arms come up. There's worms in the outdoors. I'd forgotten all about that. Yeah, the other side of the house are bees. So let the arms come down and we'll do some shoulder shrugs. We'll do one round of really big shoulder shrugs and one round of small shoulder shrugs. If you don't like shoulder shrugs, you can do shoulder rolls. So let the arms hang down like Kermit arms. Huge breath in, feel the back widening. Gently hold the breath. Shoulders come up, shoulders go back. Make it a big movement. Squeeze the top tips of shoulder blades together and exhale, drag them down the back. Big breath in. Feel the back widening. Pinch middles of shoulder blades together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, drag them down the back. Big breath in again. Use the elbows, squeeze the bottom tips of shoulder blades together. And exhale, drag them down the back, making the neck long. We'll do one more round, but we'll make this one small moves. Little tiny moves, so we're working the tiny muscles. Big breath in. Gently hold the breath. Shoulders come up, shoulders go back. Little movements. Exhale, drag them down the back. Big breath in. Hold breath, squeeze middles of shoulder blades together. And drag them down the back on the exhale. Big breath in again. Squeeze bottom tips of shoulder blades together, using the elbows gently if you need to, and drag the shoulder blades down on an exhale. Sure. Bird wing arms. Bring your hands out in front, elbows bent. And bring the elbows in on the rib cage. Inhale, bring the hands together, spread the hands. Exhale, send the hands to the side, keeping the elbows pinned by your rib cage. Inhale, hands come together. Exhale, hands move apart. Do a few more rounds of that. Spread the hands, make the hands massive. Arch your arms. We don't have any props here, so if you can't if you need a belt, usually those people at home, you can go find a belt. Anybody else who needs a belt, don't worry about it. Reach your right arm up into the air. Make it long. Yeah, kneel down if that feels better, actually. Yeah. Then bend the elbow, let the hand come onto the back. Scoop the other hand behind. And take the hand as high up as you can. If you can reach and connect two hands together, good. If you can't, just visualize the hands coming together. Inhale, send the right elbow up towards the sky. And on the exhale, send the left elbow down towards the ground. Take a big breath in and feel for that breath, making space. And on the exhale, seeing if you can move into that space. Let go of the arms, bring them out in front, and step to the front of the mat. I like this idea of what people doing out kneeling. Is it because the floor feels like you're on a surfboard and like? Were you there for Adrian? The strength. How many yoga teachers are here? Like, people at home did it. Anyway, step the right leg back. Warrior one on the other side. If you want to kneel for this, like people are doing here, you can actually kneel for it like this. So that's okay. It is harder on this floor. Shoulder shrugs. One big round, one little round. Everybody can do this at their own time now, their own breath patterns. But feel for getting movement in the shoulder blades. And as you drag the shoulders and shoulder blades down the back, make the neck long. Bird wing arms. Bring the elbows in. Really press them in into the ribs. Inhale, bring the hands together, making the hands big. Exhale, take the hands out to the side, keeping the elbows pinned in. Let's do a few more rounds of these. Some insects trying to snack on me. That's not good. As you're moving the hands out, feel for squeezing those middles of the shoulder blades together. Arch your warrior. Reach the left arm up into the air. Kneeling if you want to. Bend the elbow, scoop the other hand behind. Inhale, send the left elbow up towards the sky. And on the exhale, send the right elbow down towards the floor. If you're feeling all scrunched up here, make space. for yourself. If that means not bringing the hands as close together. And let go of the arms. Give everything a shake. Step to the front of the mat. I thought this was an insect. I'm going to do my favorite pose actually on the grass, tree pose. So everybody off for tree pose? But you can't even do that kneeling, can you? Something underneath here, I don't know what it is. Okay. Stand with your feet hip distance apart. Feel for grounding into the floor before you do anything else. If you're outdoors, find something underneath your feet. It doesn't feel like it's... I make sure you kick the worms off. Shift your weight onto your left leg. And feel for grounding that left leg into the earth underneath you. And then move your right foot. You can either move the right foot onto the ankle, and that doesn't show up on my shot because of the camera angles. You can bring the foot onto the shin or up onto the thigh. If you want an added challenge, you can bring the arms up. And for a super added challenge, you could close your eyes. Feel for being a strong tree. And then bring the thing down. That must be really weird for people looking at me on the camera because it was like all moving. Let's do that one on the other side. Shift your weight onto the right leg. Feel for that foot taking root. Lift the chest up, and then you can move the foot onto the ankle, onto the shin, or onto the thigh. If you feel like that's working for you, you can bring your arms up. And you can close your eyes if that feels good. That's it. Everybody bring the arms down. Give everything a shake. My mouth's covered in seeds now. How's everybody doing? Good. Cool. What are we going to do now? Yeah, okay. Warrior 2. Step your feet so they're a good 3 or 4 feet apart. Flattening another bit. It's like being on a surfboard, isn't it? Feel the really crushing anything under your feet that shouldn't be there. And turn the left toes out, right toes in. Left toes pointing towards the short end of the mat. Inhale, turn your chest is facing the long end of the mat. Exhale, bend the knee on the left leg and bring the arms up. Inhale, lift the collarbones up. Exhale, drag the shoulders and shoulder blades down the back. Reverse warrior. Bring the right hand down onto the right leg. Left arm comes up and over. Take a huge breath in into the left-hand side of the ribs. Feel for the ribs ballooning out. And on the exhale, bring the right shoulder and shoulder blade down. And bring the right ear down towards the shoulder. If this arm up in the air doesn't work, you can bring that down, put it onto the hip. Come back out of that. Extended warrior. Bring the left forearm down onto the left thigh. Right arm up into the air. Feel for making the spine long here. Inhale and lift the rib cage off of the leg. Exhale, Find a place for the neck that feels good and relaxing, whether that's looking straight ahead or looking down at the foot. Come up out of that. And we'll do head to ankle prep. Take your left hand, put it on the inside of your left thigh. Right hand goes on the floor, on the shin, or on the floor in front of the foot. Inhale all the way down into the hips here. Exhale, bring the right hand side of the ribs towards the right thigh. Come up out of that gently. Turn your feet so they're facing forwards. And come into a forward bend of your choice. Either with the hands on the hips or on the legs for support going down. And bringing the hands on the floor if that feels an option for you today. If you can get the hands onto the floor, shift the weight onto the hands and then back onto the feet. Working on strengthening the shoulders. Inhale and come up slow. Exhale, give everything a shake. Let's do those on the other side. Let's find a new solid spot on the ground here. This time, right toes out towards short end of the mat, left toes come in. Inhale, turn your rib, turn your chest so it's facing the long end of the mat. And exhale, bend the right leg. And arms come up. Feel the broadening the chest out. Reverse warrior. Left hand down onto the left leg, right arm sweeps over. Take a big breath into the right hand side of the ribs. Feel the ribs ballooning out. Exhale, let the left shoulder and shoulder blade come down. Feel for connecting to the ground underneath you with your strong legs. Inhale back into a warrior two. Extended warrior variation on the other side. Right forearm on right thigh, left arm up into the air. Inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale, let the shoulders and shoulder blades again come down the back. Inhale back out of that. And we'll do head to ankle prep on the other side. Right hand or right in the thigh. Left hand on the shin, on the floor in front of the foot. Inhale and come out of that slowly. Exhale, turn your toes facing forward. And then if you can, heel toe your way, or if you're outdoors, maybe do some stepping movements. And give everything a bit of a shake. Is everybody's mat grounded in now? Like magic carpets just like floating above everything. How's everybody doing there? You doing okay, Joe and Ellis? Good. Let the cars go by for a second. Pigeon. Let's just come down onto our hands and knees. If you know pigeon doesn't work for your knees here, I'll give you another option in a second. But if you want to come into pigeon, bring the left knee between the hands. Between the hands, can you see me? So you start on all fours, shoot your knee between the hands like this. Yeah. It's hard to see because there's like 2 feet of grass around me.
But not like that.
Not like that. You can bring it like that if you want. Yeah. Does that not work? Yeah. You can either stay up on the hands. I'll bring the forearms down, or even bring the head down. If you want to go deeper into this, you can take the right leg, come up onto the toes, lift the knee up, send the heel to the back of the mat, and then bring the knee back down. Breathe and send that breath into the hips. Feel for a tiny amount of movement from the breath in the hips. And use the exhale to carry out any tension. Slowly make your way out of that. And we'll do pigeon on the other side. There's so much wildlife on my mat. Starting off on the hands and knees, bring the right knee between the hands. It's funny, I can only see like people's heads. This is funny. Take a breath in and send it all the way into the hips. Long breath out, washing out the tension. For a bit of a deeper stretch, come up onto the toes of the left leg, send the heel of the leg back, making the leg long, and then bring the knee down to the mat again. Slowly, everybody make their way out of this. Oh. No falling asleep in the sun. Well, okay, you can fall asleep in the sun. And come into a seated position. Let's do a seated spinal twist. Inhale, sit up tall on the mat. Exhale, ground through your sit bones. If you're on the grass, that might be a little bit of wiggling. Take your left hand and put it onto the right knee. Take the other hand behind and come into a twist, looking towards the right hand side. Inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale, bring the shoulders and shoulder blades down. Relaxing that area, that overworked area. As you take a big breath in, feel for how that breath is trying to twist you out of this twist a little bit. Work against it. And on the exhale, see if you can move into the space that you created. Come back into the middle. Slowly unwinding the spine. And we'll do that on the other side. Inhale, make the spine long. Right hand on left knee, other hand behind. Turning to the left. Inhale all the way down into your sit bones. Feel for that connection with the ground underneath you. And on the exhale, keep the spine long. Inhale, come back into the middle. Exhale, feel a connection. Keeping your spine long. Relaxing the face, the jaw, the tongue, the back of the eyes. And we'll move down onto our backs for a reclined hip sequence. There's 4 parts to this. If you don't know it and you're in here and you want to see it, you might have to stand up and like meerkat over the grass to see it. Or you can watch Claire over here. Claire also knows this one. Yeah, I'll do a demo now. Yeah. So I'll just demo one side, lying on the back. First knee comes to the chest. Second part, the knee crosses over the body onto the ground. For the third part, the knee rolls back and you take the foot into half frog. And the third part, fourth part, half happy baby, taking hold of the foot or the leggings and having the foot over the hip. So, everybody lie on the back, and we'll start off with the right leg. First is knee to chest. As you inhale, feel for the leg wanting to move away from you. On the exhale, pulling the knee in a little bit closer if that allows. Second position, roll the knee across the body and bring the knee onto the ground. Bring your arms into a place that feels comfortable. Maybe the top palm's above your head or by your side, or maybe even lying on the hip. Send a breath into the hips. And as you exhale, feel for melting any tension or tight spots. Third position, roll the leg over. Bring the leg into half frog. Knee at right angles, flexing the foot. And finally, half happy baby, catching hold of the foot or your leggings. Bringing the foot above you, bring the knee down towards the armpit. And then let go of the foot. And we'll do those on the other side. Inhale, bring the left knee up to the chest. Using this pose both to release tension and to wind down, and also to connect with yourself. Listening to what the body needs right now. Roll the knee across the chest, across the body, so it's on the floor. Bring the arms to a comfortable position. Top arm maybe above the ear, or behind you, or on the hip. Roll on back onto your back. And bring the leg into half frog. And finally, bring the foot into half happy baby. Catching hold of the foot or the leggings. And bringing the knee towards the armpit. And then let go of the foot. Bring the feet down onto the floor. And with the knees bent, start gently rocking the hips back and forth. Forwards and backwards, feeling for lengthening the low back against the mat and then curving it back out. Finding, just getting a little bit of movement in that low back region. If it would feel good to take the knees from side to side as well, just to loosen off, do that too. And then come back to the middle and come into a version of Shavasana, excuse me, that works for you. Whether that be lying flat on the floor, or you lie on the floor with the knees bent, feet on the floor. If you want to get a blanket or something to put over you, take a moment to make yourself really comfortable. Because before we'll enter into Shavasana, we'll do a tense and release sequence to let go of tension and stress so that you can get the most out of the Shavasana. Also, if it would feel good to put something over the eyes so that you're not seeing light, you can put a belt over the eyes or a blanket over the eyes. And then come back to just deep breathing for a moment. Taking in long inhales and longer exhales. Now take a big breath in and send that breath into the legs and into the feet. Hold the breath and squeeze your feet tight. Squeeze the ankles, squeeze the toes. And then exhale and release the tension. Big breath in again. Hold the breath. Squeeze your leg muscles, your shins, your calves, your hamstrings, your quads. Really squeeze them tight. And exhale, release the tension. Letting it go into the ground underneath you. Big breath in. Hold the breath. Squeeze the muscles in the hips, the belly muscles, the butt muscles. Squeeze them tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let the muscles melt in to the mat and ground underneath you. Big breath in again. Hold the breath. Squeeze the chest muscles. Squeeze the back muscles. Squeeze them tight. Squeeze them a little bit more. Exhale, let them go and melt into the mat a little bit further. Big breath in. Hold the breath. Squeeze your hands. Make fists with your fingers. Squeeze the arm muscles. Squeeze them tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze extra tight. And then exhale, release the tension. Inhale in again. Hold the breath. Squeeze your face muscles. Squeeze your eyes. Squeeze your brain. Squeeze your scalp. Squeeze it real tight. And then exhale, release the tension out. And now set yourself up in a way that you'll feel comfortable. And we'll move into Shavasana for a few minutes where you can lay in stillness and silence. And whether you're indoors or outdoors, connecting with the energy of nature that's around you. Shavasana. Start to slowly deepen your breathing. Making each inhale a little bit longer than the last one. And each exhale a little bit longer, a little bit fuller than the previous one. And feel for the motion of the breath in the body, starting to ripple movement through the rest of the body. Feeling it in the belly and the neck, the back, maybe even in the hands and the feet and the toes. And then gently bring your knees to your chest, freeing yourself of any blankets or props. Taking hold of your knees and slowly rocking from side to side on your back. Giving your back a little massage against the floor. And then slowly roll over onto one side. You get to choose which side. And stay there before coming up. Spending a couple of breaths relaxing before shifting into a state of doing and having to do things. And then slowly make your way up to a seated position, if you want to. If not, carry on lying down. Everybody awake? Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining me today, whether it be in here, or at home.